Hello, welcome back to another video of Be Bold, Money's Truth. So today I'm going to be talking about a pretty deep topic that has been an issue for years and years. Bullying. A lot of people don't want to speak about it or admit that they are being bullied, regardless of where it's happening. It not only happens with children, but also with adults. I have been a victim of bullying since I was in middle school. I was not the prettiest. I was actually quite a nerd. And I basically only had one friend. I kept to myself, and I always used to hear the popular boys talking about who would they choose between me and my friend that were the nerds of middle school. And they would laugh. They thought that it was funny to basically make fun of us. I still remember clear as day the day that I had developed a crush on one of the popular boys that all the girls had a crush on. So of course it was inevitable that I also developed a crush on him, and he found out about it, which of course, being mature about it, you can't control who finds you attractive and who doesn't, but he did not like that. He wasn't happy about it, so he ended up throwing me in the snow at recess, and I cried about it. And that's one memory that I will never forget. Till this day, I still remember it. It is an ugly feeling to feel rejected and unwanted. It's not something that I want to ever relive or would want anybody to ever have to go through. And yet I know that there are a lot of people right at this moment, experiencing that. And I just want to share my experience and, how I was able to overcome it to help those that are going through that right now. I know it's scary, and I know that a lot of people are embarrassed of it, but there's nothing to be embarrassed of. And the best thing for you to do is ignore it. Remind yourself that you're a beautiful person inside and out, despite what anybody thinks or says about you. Remind yourself that even though they may not find you beautiful, because beauty comes in all shapes and forms and is different for every individual, doesn't mean that someone else will not. There is someone out there for everyone, and to them you will be the most beautiful person they ever have seen. And be strong. That's all that you can do, is be strong. Don't let them put you down. Don't let them make you feel insecure or less of. Nobody is above anyone. Everyone is the same. Continue to do what you want to do that makes you happy. In the long run, you will outgrow this, and you're not going to be dealing with these people for the rest of your life. They don't make you who you are. Always remember that nobody can break you, only you. You are in control of your mind, of your choices. And if you allow someone to break you, then that is you allowing them to have that much power over your mind and your life. Nobody should ever have that much power over you, period. I didn't actually start to bloom until I got into, I want to say 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. Not even 6th grade, I want to say 7th and 8th grade. At that point, I was a tomboy. I wore, baggy jeans. I wore a lot of heavy, dark makeup, and I, dated a lot of I guess you could say, bad boys. But that was really when I started to come out of my shell and really start to um, be more girly, especially when I hit high school. So it's really when, I got, out of that nerd stage and, had my few boyfriends and whatnot else. And at that point, the tables turned. I never got rejected, and I never had any issues, getting a boyfriend or going on dates or whatever the case. But in my heart and deep down inside, I still am who I am. And all of the things that I went through make me and made me who I am. So I'm actually thankful for all of the experiences that I went through in life, because it helped me appreciate and love myself more due to that, and made me stronger. Because the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That saying is definitely 100% facts. And I encourage everyone to just work, love yourself, appreciate yourself, know your worth, and don't ever let anybody make you feel like you don't belong. Everybody's here for a reason. Everybody has a purpose. And I feel that, despite what one person may think about you, does not does not define you. You have to understand that there are mean people out in this world, ugly people in this world, and that may never change. It doesn't matter, what happens in life. You will always experience good and bad people. That is just the way life is. And you have to learn to accept that. And even as a grown woman, I've experienced bullying from, other women. And I've experienced, even in high school, by guys that were mad because they wanted to date me and I didn't want to date them. So, I ended up having to switch my hours in high school in order for me to graduate, because graduating to me was very important. And it was my only opportunity to graduate. And I wanted to make sure that I got my high school diploma. So it didn't matter to me what those girls said or thought about me, or those boys. And they said a lot of real mean things about me to cause my, last year of high school to be like the worst year of my life. And I never looked back. I never thought about that year until recent. I didn't ask for it. I didn't do anything wrong to get put in that position. The only thing I did was try to be friends with the boys from my school, but I guess they wanted to be more than friends. And because I didn't want to be more than friends, I ended up being their target. So they got some girls against me that they knew that were really good friends with them to make my senior year hell. And I didn't care if they thought that I was afraid of them, and I didn't care if they thought that they were cooler than me while they were skipping school and, doing, things that they shouldn't have been doing. I was doing what I needed to do to graduate, and I did. I graduated, and I don't regret it. I made the best decision, and, I got into college because of it, and had it not been for me graduating, getting my high school diploma, I wouldn't have been able to go to college. So, there's a lot of positives, in the long run. Eventually, you will reach the light at the end of the tunnel. It's not forever darkness. And I just want you to know that there is positivity. There is, a way out. And you will get yourself out of that hole that you feel you've fallen into and you can't get yourself out of. with faith in God, you'll be able to, make it. Also with support from your friends and family. If you don't have any friends, mostly your family. I mostly did it on my own more than anything, with my faith in God. And I just, I always wanted to be a better person, and I've always wanted to help and encourage others, and yet I always seem to get the short end of the stick. But that's okay, because like I stated before, that made me who I am today, and I'm a bulldozer. I can't be broken. In order for you to be able to hurt me in any way, you would have to mean something to me. And even if you do mean something to me, it just reflects who you are as a person. As a grown woman, I've always had issues with women feeling insecure and jealous due to their significant other, as if it's my fault that to them I may be a threat, even though I'm not a threat in any way. I'm not even that type of person. I don't go after someone that is already taken. I know that's disrespectful, and I would never step on anybody's toes. And not only that, but that says a lot about myself and my self-worth and respect, which I am 100% sure where my worth and respect is. So I would never do that to anybody. But of course, people are always quick to judge you just by your appearance. And that's something that they need to work on within themselves. There's something wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with you. That's, their issue. They have to deal with that. And, I always ended up having to be the one to pay for that, one way or the other. I still get blows from women now over petty things that happened years and years ago that shouldn't even be a factor anymore, but yet I guess to them it makes them feel better about themselves, putting others down. And yet, even though they think that they're making themselves look better by putting me down, in the long run, they're only showing their true colors to everybody and showing how ugly of a person they are to everybody else. Anybody around that actually has a conscience and is able to, catch on to the fact that they're trying to embarrass me and put me down. And you know what? That's on them. I don't let that get to me. I don't let that bother me, and I think that makes them more mad. Because in the long run, they don't mean anything. They don't matter. And I just keep pushing and doing me. So I encourage you to keep pushing. I encourage you to not give up. I encourage you to keep trying. I encourage you to make your dreams come true. I encourage you to not let anybody make you feel insignificant and like it's impossible, because nothing is impossible, especially if you put your mind to it, and especially if that's what you want. You can make it happen. Nothing can stop you but you. Love yourself, even if nobody else does. Self-love is overpowering. Self-love is something that a lot of people lack. So I encourage people to learn to be content in your own skin and to love yourself. That about sums up my video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that bell so you can get my next video. And until next time, truthfully yours, be bold, Maddie's Truth.